We just potentially got the date for the next Pokemon Presents, and as well as that we may know what they could be announcing and presenting during the Presents. Does that sentence even make sense? I don't even know. But we've had a bunch of mixed rumors and alleged leaks this year about the next Pokemon Presents, mostly in the sense of like, is there even one happening in general? But today, we may or may not just got some information about that. But on top of that, we also have a lot of other Pokemon news, like a ton of Pokemon news, guys. So stay tuned for the entire video because this one is packed. And I feel like we have seen a lot of stuff about the Pokemon Presents. We need one, and we may still be in the position to be waiting a few months. We may have to wait until Pokemon Day of 2027, which I would be okay with, but I wouldn't mind just a little update from Pokemon, from Game Freak this year, so they could just tell us a little bit of what their plans are right now. So here's the rumor right here, Pokemon Presents, which this date would be August 27th, so a little bit less than a month from now. And I do believe that this right here is their proof, I guess you could call it, of the date of this Presents. Now, we do have a lot to talk about with this specific Presents, because of course, like I said before in many videos, we have rumors of us not having any new announcements, but some of those rumors only specify Winds and Waves, like no Winds and Waves news this year. So here's the thing, guys, we could 100% without a doubt have a Pokemon Presents that does not share anything with Winds and Waves. This wouldn't be unlike Game Freak or Nintendo to do, because this is pretty common where fans expect something and don't actually receive it during some sort of announcement, being, you know, a direct or Presents. And typically, guys, we do have 2 Presents in a year. Not every single year, but I would say majority of the time. We always have one for Pokemon Day, of course, which makes sense. And I think that in the future, we will always, without a doubt, have one for Pokemon Day. Like I said, they usually do one in the summer. There's no specific date, you know, during the summer that they do usually go with, but they could show off everything besides Winds and Waves. Like they could show off things such as Pokemon Coliseum, Pokemon Home, maybe another classic game being brought over, or just an update, like a simple update. I would love if they could even just tell us, hey, we don't have any Winds and Waves news this year, or at least for now. You guys are gonna have to wait. Stuff with the anime, maybe the next movie. Of course, Pokopia will definitely have an announcement during this next Presents. Something that I think would be so awesome for them to do would be to do some sort of announcement, kind of in the same vein as Marvel, where sometimes they will announce many upcoming projects years and years ahead of schedule. But it would be kind of cool to say, hey guys, this is what we're doing for the next 5 years. We're gonna drop the MMO, the next Pokemon Legends game, even a new spin-off game or something. That's the type of transparency that I would love to see from Game Freak specifically. But here is a caveat to this that may debunk this next Presents, that I would still say anything could happen, but you know, this person, this other source, is a pretty reputable guy. Ball Guy saying that he has not heard anything for next month. The original poster also saying maybe it isn't a Pokemon Presents, that it could be some sort of other announcement, and that the guess saying my guess is we'll get an info trailer for this game's update. Ball Guy saying agreed. Thing is about Presents, prep work would have already begun. I asked internal and nothing is happening. Here's what we also do know. There should be a general direct in September. We've had heavy rumors and leaks of that, where they could be dropping some other type of Pokemon announcement in that, because they have done that before. They do drop a trailer or some sort of announcement of Pokemon during a direct, and that would mainly be the cause of them not having like enough to do a whole Presents on it. So basically, Ball Guy just saying that they would have already kind of begun to prepare this Pokemon Presents. I don't know specifically how Ball Guy gets all of his information, but he's very accurate most of the time. He's claiming nothing is happening. I personally kind of would agree with him, but I also think we should leave room for possibility that there could be a Presents in August, or even this year, because here's the thing. The Pokemon Company is a company that could change their mind in a second. We could always have a last minute Presents, or they could even drop a random trailer, which I don't think they're going to do for Winds and Waves, but I could see them doing that for Pokemon Coliseum or Pokopia, or just literally anything else besides Winds and Waves. So I think my final verdict on the Present, I would say it's a maybe. We could be getting a Presents, and I think the safest bet to say is Winds and Waves trailer number 2 is most likely going to be happening during Pokemon Day of 2027, which, like I said, I'm okay to wait. And what you think we should be seeing, and even like your wildest theory. Ironically, tomorrow's video is about the announcements we should be seeing during this Presents that I actually recorded before this leak even came out. So I still think all the points I made in that video still make sense and still apply to this. So make sure to stay tuned for that video tomorrow. Turn the post notifications. And before you guys go, we have a lot of other news to talk about within the whole Pokemon realm at the moment. So let's get right into that stuff. We have an awesome deal on Amazon apparently right now, where $10 eShop cards are 10% off for $8.98. So if you guys are thinking about getting an eShop card, I guess now would be the time. Of course, this is not sponsored by me. I'm just kind of letting you guys know because it's kind of a cool thing if you want to get a cheaper eShop card. Or join the giveaway that my bro Jayzard are running up in our Discord server, 100% free to join. Link is in the description. You guys can see how to enter. It's really easy. Like I said, 100% free. That is for 2 winners to receive a $20 eShop card. So join that up, but let's get to the other news. The second part of the Pokopia expansion pass, releasing in late 2026, will introduce new accessories for Ditto and other Pokemon, which is something that we kind kind of had teased that a while ago, or like leaked in some sort of poster a few months ago. Like I said, Pokopia is gonna have a 3-part deal. Part 1 and Part 2 are apparently this year, and then Part 3 is going to be next year, which I feel like that big announcement will be during the next Pokemon Presents. And if you haven't heard, the new TCG Pocket app expansion, Ruler of Skies, is live. Now, this was like 2 days ago or something, but awesome set. And remember, guys, we still have several other things, Plaza or Generation 3, that have yet to be announced. So I guess on this list right here, you could add a couple because this list is a little bit outdated. But yeah, there are more things to come, and I'm still holding on to a Generation 3 port or a Generation 3, I don't know, just something with Gen 3 to be announced, maybe during Pokemon Present that could be shadow dropped on the same day. I mean, hey, that's just my theory out there. But another quick update, there will be some new icons for Pokopia on the Switch that are going to be limited edition through September 2nd. That starts August 5th, so they'll be available for almost a whole month. And I also wanted to bring this up, that the Pokemon Company ranked number 6 among the world's biggest global licensors in 2026, which generated about $16 billion in sales, which is absolutely insane. So many people don't know this, but the Pokemon Company does not actually own Pokemon. It's the international branch responsible for licensing, merchandising, and brand management outside of Japan, while Pokemon IP itself is owned by Nintendo, Game Freak, and Creatures. Like, the whole Pokemon Company as a whole, it's just a complicated issue, I guess you could say. But part of me feels like we're in one of those weird situations where the next Pokemon Presents / Pokemon Day has to be huge, because, I mean, if we're not going to be getting another big Pokemon update or big Pokemon news this year with the main series game, you know, Winds and Waves, or even just another classic game. I'm sorry, guys, I keep bringing this up, but it's because it's a huge topic that could still happen. They have to be setting themselves up for a pretty big year next year. And I recently talked about the idea of how, like, 2027 may actually be more 30th anniversary celebration over 2026, which is the real 30th anniversary, if that makes sense, which I'm kind of in full belief that that could be the case, which is so weird. So that's why I do think that, yeah, like a Generation 3 port or Gen 2 would make sense to drop on Pokemon Day of next year of 2027. And as well as that, of course, the Pokopia Part 3 DLC eventually, Pokemon Coliseum, Pokemon Winds and Waves. So the games for next year are probably going to be pretty crazy. It seems like they still have a grand master plan, and they still have their ambitions and their hopes to be releasing other games in the future. Now, I'm hoping this whole debacle with all these releases didn't delay anything too much. Like, I hope Legends 3, which could be Legends Galar, could be Legends Kanto, I don't know, they could even totally switch it to Legends Hoenn at this point, but that type of thing, you know, with Pokemon MMO, whatever other games that they may have, you know, in their pocket, just keeping as a secret right now, I hope that things just aren't delayed that much. Generation 11, like, I'm just really curious, like, when is that gonna drop? That game could even be a 5, 6, or I'm not even gonna say the next number, year wait. I would hope for like 4 years. I think 4-ish years in between every generation is pretty solid. 5 years is okay, but it's definitely a long wait. I mean, I guess as long as we get good games in between, it's not that big of a deal, right? Anyway, thank you so much for watching today's video. I would love to hear your thoughts and your opinion on the next Pokemon Presents, what you think they should drop, and just about the future of Pokemon. Like, let me know the games you would love to see. It could be like a crazy wild theory, by the way. It doesn't even have to be something logical. I just want to hear your thoughts about what you want to see. Anyway, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you are real and watching this far, comment down below, Stingray, just the word Stingray. I'll see you in the next one.